Okay, you guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm trying to get the angle right for this, and I'm really struggling here. So there's honestly a chance that you might not even see this video because of the angle. I don't know if it's going to work or not. This is going to be a little bit of a different video because it is going to be a kind of crochet with me WIP and chat instead. This is the blanket that I told you guys that I really wanted to finish. There's also a chance that I might add in some clip of this tomorrow, maybe. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. But this blanket, I can't remember 100% the name of the group. I'd have to check because I am in several crochet groups, so I'd have to check the name of, I have my diamond painting under here still too, the name of the group, but they have a princess, a Disney princess crochet along in their group, and they have all of the graphs and the charts for these Disney princess corner to corner squares, and so that is what I am doing on this one. This is the last princess that I have to do before I start putting the blanket together, and I'm about halfway through, or almost halfway through. I have, let me see, I don't even know what line I'm on. That's going to take me a minute to figure out. I might have to edit this a little bit. I probably have like 2 more rows before I get halfway through, but the second half is always the easiest because it has less detail and less color changes than the first half. Well, yeah, because of the dress. So, okay, my paper's all crumbled because I was moving my office around earlier and this got all squished up. But this is the square that I'm working on right now. It is the Merida graph. Let me see. This doesn't say the name of the group on Facebook, no, but it's called the Princess and Villain Crochet Along. This is the Merida. They do give you some yarn suggestions here as well as the colors for those yarns. I have written on the side here the yarns that I am using, and I already know all of my squares for this particular blanket have all been done in the Karen Simply Soft yarn. And most of it I got at Walmart. If it's a special color like this one, which is I think the pumpkin, yeah, this is the pumpkin one, I got this one at I ordered it from Knitting Warehouse, and I will try to remember to link their website below, but I absolutely love Knitting Warehouse. They have amazing yarn selection, and there's always a sale going on. I stopped doing this blanket a couple of weeks ago because I ran out of this baby blue yarn here, and my Walmart didn't have any. And I really don't need yarn, so I didn't want to place an order. And I just kept checking back until they finally got it in stock. They finally have it in stock. So I am going to just tie them together. This is how, when I run out, this is how I do it. It might not be the best way to do it, but this is how I've always done it, and I have never ever had an issue. I just tie it however, and then I cut these ends and then I stitch it in, which I cannot use my, okay, I'm gonna have to go grab another pair of scissors. Okay, I want to grab another pair. So I take the ends and just cut them off as close to the knot as I can without it actually interfering with the knot. And then this just gets sewn into my blanket, and 9 times out of 10 nobody sees it. And the reason I say 9 times out of 10 is because I feel like I tend to criticize my own work more often than, you know, somebody else does, obviously, and I always know where these are, even when nobody else can see them. So my goal here is to just keep you guys so you can see what I'm doing. Now, this is not going to be a tutorial, so I'm not really going to be showing you guys how to do this, but I just will be talking about it. I guess I don't need that yellow color because it's not even connected here. There's a lot of cat hair on my yarn, unfortunately. I believe, yeah, this is an H hook is what I'm using for this. I'm not sure if that's the recommended hook size. Yeah, it is the recommended hook size for this. again, I would try to link the Facebook group, to the Princess and Villain Crochet Along in the description below so that you guys can check it out. They also have they have a whole bunch of stuff, you guys, and a lot of their stuff's linked in their group Google Drive, and you can download all of the patterns there, and that's where I've gotten mine. At some point, maybe later at the end of this video, I will come back and show you guys my finished squares, as well as my the patterns, because I feel like I might have some patterns that I didn't do of princesses that I printed out. I can't remember. There was some that I printed out that I didn't have the colors for, and I don't remember if I ended up doing them after all, or if I found different ones to match yarn that I had, because I know there was a couple that I had a hard time finding the yarn for. That's the thing that I don't hate about new skeins of yarn, is that it is hard to pull the yarn out from the middle. So I am still adding a square at the end. At this one, my tension's all messed up because my carpal tunnel is really acting up today. I have been doing beaded cross stitch all day and diamond painting all day, and then yesterday, wait, I'm missing something here. I skipped a square. I've been crafting like all day. I finished my homework yesterday and I've been crafting all day long, and my hands are really feeling it. I don't go back to the specialist until like the end of September, and so I really don't even know anything about surgery yet, because I have to go back. It's just one of those things. I just hope that this angle's working for you guys. That's all I'm worried about right now. I will probably also at some point show you guys how far I've come on the beaded cross stitch that I ordered. By the time this video goes up, you guys will have seen my unboxing of it, and it's probably going to be in my Because of YouTube playlist. So if you can't find it for some reason, you can just go to my playlists and find the Because of YouTube purchases one, and it'll be in there. So yeah. Today has been a day. Today is September 1st, and my kids do not have school tomorrow. What was I using on this? A pencil? Where are all my pencils at? I'd like to prop you guys up on my pencil case. That's why you guys are moving a bit. Not my pencil case, but my pencil tin thing. It makes a really good tripod, to be honest. Okay, first I need to figure out where I'm at and why. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of her belt. 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like I crossed that off already. That whole row I crossed off for some reason. So I should have 2. Okay, I need to turn this over and just make sure that I am in the right spot and not messing this up in any way, shape, or form. So this is what she looks like for the most part. I feel like you guys need to scoot a little further back. That might work. I really like the way her dress is coming out. This is the first corner to corner blanket that I've done that has so many color changes in it. I have only done corner to corners where it was all the same yarn, and the yeah, it looks like I crossed off that whole row when I did it last time. Okay, and the last time that I did it, I used like the Red Heart, like, what was it called? Magic or Mystic or something along those lines. And it was basically, it had kind of like strands of silver in it, and it was also not ombre, but it changed colors. And the one that I used is, if I remember, I'll like insert a picture right here. but the one that I used was purple, gray, and like black, and then it had a strand of silver kind of glittery yarn through it, and it was gorgeous. It came out absolutely beautiful, and that was the only corner to corner I ever did. It wasn't something 2, 3, 4, 5. My voice is getting all froggy. I did not bring me anything to drink. It was not something that, I mean, I liked doing it and I enjoyed doing it, but you know, there's so many projects that you want to do that I didn't do another corner to corner until this blanket came out, or until I found this one. It had already been released by the time that I found it, but yeah, this group does all sorts of different crochet alongs, and the crochet alongs, what they do is they release the directions like a week, and then you do the square as they're coming out, and they do end up having bonus squares and things. So if you end up not liking a square that they end up doing, you don't have to do the square for that week, but it's supposed to be like this fun thing that the group can do as a whole. I tried to follow along on one of their crochet alongs, but I just didn't like the whole not knowing what you were going to crochet and then purchasing the material. I don't know. It was just a weird thing. I don't even know if they still do it like that, because I unsubscribed from the email thing and haven't really been following it that much since I got into diamond painting, just because there's so many other projects that I want to do and have been doing. So yeah, I honestly, you guys, I've been working on this blanket for over a year, because I've moved since I started it, and there was a period of time last year before we moved into this house that we didn't have a house and we were staying with family, and so everything was put away, and I have just worked on this kind of on and off here and there. And then when I got into diamond painting, of course, every time I get into a new hobby, I go all in. I buy all the things and have all of everything that you could possibly need to do that craft. And I kind of put crocheting aside. So I love crocheting. Crocheting is my first love of hobby, like hobby doing, hobby crafting, whatever you want to call it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the first craft that I really started getting into and really being dedicated to. And it's the one that I always fall back on. And when I think what happened was 1, 2, 3, 4. When I first started crafting, I was a little girl. I learned to crochet probably when I was about 9-ish years old. Not 100% sure how old I was, but I was really young. And my mom taught me a little bit. All she really knew was like how to do a chain, how to slip stitch, and a single crochet, things like that. And when I had my first child, I kind of started doing a lot of crocheting, but I was making all of my blankets in double crochet. And then, you know, years go by. When I got pregnant with my second child, my daughter, I was about 6 months pregnant when I started having a lot of problems in my pregnancy, and my OBGYN recommended that I not work if at all possible. She said that to prevent me from going into having a high-risk pregnancy, she really recommended that I not work. And so we went with it, and I got really into crochet. I started learning how to do all the things. And, you know, those couple of months before my daughter came, I became a pro at crocheting. And I could make anything and everything that you threw at me. I could make hats, I could do amigurumi, everything. I mean, I'm not um, I'm not the crochet crowd by any means, but I'm pretty decent at it. And so I started doing, I continued to stay home after my daughter was born, and I got really restless. And so I started, a lot of family members saw like the things that I was making, and like the beanies and the amigurumi, and I started getting a lot of requests to do more. 1, 2, 3, 4. And at first I was telling everybody, sure, I can do it, yeah, no problem, easy. Well, it started, I'm trying to move some stuff out of the way here so I don't knock anything over. I started getting really burnt out on it and had to start charging, not because I was trying to make a living off of it, but because we only had one income, we had kids to take care of, and so I started telling people, well, you need to at least, can you at least get the material? I'll tell you what to buy. You can go buy it and bring it to me, or, whatever. If you want to give me the money, that's okay too. And before I knew it, I started selling things on Etsy, and I couldn't keep up with the demand. Okay, guys, I apologize if you're at a slightly different angle, but my dog was walking back and forth and she was making me really nervous. She just does that. I don't know, her little clicking and stuff. And sometimes they get up and they take off running outside into the backyard, and it just freaks me out sometimes. Because then I think somebody's here, even though there's nobody here. They hear the neighbor dogs barking and they go bolting out the doggy door, and it scares the crap out of me. Okay, so like I was saying, I started getting really burnt out on it and put it away. Well, I didn't necessarily put it away, but I wasn't doing taking any orders anymore, and shut my Etsy shop down because I just couldn't keep up with the ordering. And I started pushing customer orders out further and further, and I didn't really do like ready-made items. I was doing that for a while when I first started, when I could keep up with the demand, and it wasn't that big of a deal to make like a couple hats at a time. And then when I started getting more orders, I wasn't able to keep them in stock anymore. And then I started getting like custom requests for blankets and stuff, and the blankets were taking me, because it wasn't my full-time job, and at the time I had a newborn baby, and they were taking me a really long time to make. People wanted things done in like a week, and that's just not how it works. And so I just made the decision to just close my Etsy shop and not do it, because I just could not keep up with the demand of it. So now I make blankets for family and friends, but at the same time, if I'm going to make you a blanket, you probably don't know about it, because I can't handle the pressure of, there's a knot in this one, telling somebody that I'm going to make them a blanket, and then they're asking for it, because it can take me months, if not a year, to complete a blanket, because I'm not making like little tiny baby blankets. And the last couple of blankets that I've made are about queen-sized blankets, and they took me a good deal of time to make and get everything together, especially when I do blankets like this, because whoops, I didn't tighten this one, because they need to be sewn in the back, because I don't make them double-sided. A lot of people make them double-sided. I don't, because I don't like the way the other side looks in the first place, and so I just tie them off. I tie my knots, and then I will sew like a fleece backing on it. And another reason that I don't is because I already have a lot of colors going and I don't like to spool them and keep cutting or keep, because like here I have blue on this end and blue on this end. So then I either need two skeins of blue, one on each side, or two of like spools. A lot of people use like these but bigger, and they wrap the yarn around these and then they just clip it like that so that it can stay on there. I don't do that because I feel like you're gonna run out and then you're gonna need to redo it, and that's just too many times that my color is gonna have a loose end. And so like this blue on here is all one piece, except for where you guys just saw me add on the next one. But if I was starting with a fresh skein of yarn, all this blue would be one piece, and then it's just less ends that I have to worry about. So I don't remember where I was going with that, you guys. I'm sorry. I want to get some homework done tonight as well. I'm gonna give my kids a late bath right now, and then I'm probably gonna do, I think I'm gonna do some Spanish homework while they are in the bath, just to get ahead, because none of the work that I have to do now is due until next, I think it's due on the 7th, which is next Saturday if I'm not mistaken. But I don't want to be left having to do I need orange? No, but I need this blue. I don't want to be left having to do any of it on Friday or Saturday. So I want to try to get it all done by midweek, because Thursday and Friday is when I have my on-campus classes, and then that way I can spend those days doing, whatever homework is required for those classes, not have to worry about anything. So yeah, that's totally off subject, but I have been binging Doctor Who lately. I started it a long time ago. I haven't watched the classic Doctor Who's yet because I can't find them available for stream, at least legally. I haven't been able to find them. And so I've finally, I watched all the way through 9th Doctor, 10th, and I got to 11th. And I had a really hard time getting used to Matt Smith. So the first season that Matt Smith was in took me ages to go through, because I wasn't happy with him as the Doctor originally. And then I still really liked Amy Pond, so I continued watching. By the time I got to the last season with Matt Smith in it, I was really disappointed to see him go, because I really did get used to him. But now that I am at the Peter Capaldi stage, oh my gosh, you guys. Number 10 has always, always, always been my favorite, and he will always be my favorite. But Capaldi's Doctor, oh my gosh, I cannot get over it. I love him as the Doctor. He is so hilarious, just his demeanor, everything that he brings to the character. I absolutely love it. You guys probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but I am just loving the job that he's doing. I've already finished one season with Capaldi as the Doctor, and I don't remember, I think it's 9, I don't know, it's only on Amazon Prime. It's not on Netflix anymore. I originally started it on Netflix, and that was why I stopped, was because Netflix took it off. And so I got Amazon Prime a couple of months ago because I'm a student, and I realized that they had a student thing that I could get, and so that's what I did. And I picked up watching it again, and the seasons are numbered weird, and I think the season that I'm on right now is 901. I don't know if that's an Amazon thing or if they changed the way that they number the Doctor Who series, but now it's 901. And I remember when it was on Netflix, it seemed like it was numbered normal, at least as far as I can recall. I don't know, I might be mistaken by that, but I need to have to move them around as I go down so that they don't get all tangled up. But I have found that this is just the best way for me to do it. So yeah, I can't with the doctor. I had to actually stop today because I just couldn't stop. Like, I just kept watching and watching and watching, and before I realized it, it was dinner time. And yeah, so none of my kids watch Doctor Who either. I am like the only nerd in my family. Nobody watches anything. You know, my sister, she's kind of nerdy, but not nerdy like me. She doesn't watch kind of like scientific-y stuff like Doctor Who. She does like supernatural and stuff like that, which I also love. But yeah, I'm kind of alone in that area because nobody watches what I watch. So it's kind of lonely at times because I can't talk to anybody about anything. You know, I did kind of get into Game of Thrones there for a while, but I stopped watching it, and I haven't watched the last 2 seasons. I stopped, there was a season, and then the next one hadn't come out yet, and then the last season. So I had stopped watching it 2 seasons before it ended, and I didn't watch like the last 2 or 3 episodes because I binged it all pretty quickly, and then Jon Snow died, and I knew that he wasn't dead, but I was so frustrated with the show that I didn't want to watch the last couple seasons because there wasn't another season for me to watch. And then when it finally came out, I just never finished the series. It is a good series, don't get me wrong, but yeah, just one of those things. So now that you've heard me rant for, what's the timer? We're on 10 minutes, and I think the other one was 15 minutes. So 25 minutes. Oh, my eyes are itching. I've gotten a row and a half done, which is more than I had done earlier. But I'm really going to try to finish this square tonight, I hope. And then tomorrow, I'm going to work on stitching it together. So this video, I will probably try to include pieces of all of that. I'll try to include me stitching it together, and then I will try to show the finished product if I actually finished stitching it by the time this video is ready to go up. That way you guys can kind of see it. I think I should be done by the time this video is ready to go up, because I don't have this video scheduled to go up for another week. About 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I want to make sure that I have a couple of videos in the queue, just so that I don't get behind. There was a period of time where I was like uploading every day, and then I didn't have any videos to post, so then I would go a couple days without uploading, and it's been pretty inconsistent up until this point. So I'm gonna try to just make sure that I upload every other day and keep it at that. Okay, I wanted to show you guys the other squares that I've done because I don't have the actual square with me. I'm gonna show you guys the other. This is all my patterns, at least the ones that I've put in here. Where are the squares at? Oh, okay. So, okay, this is the castle that I did. I don't know, I already took the lines off, but this is the castle that I ended up making that's going to be in the center. And then I did, let's see if I can move you guys up a little. There we go. Is that gonna work? Yeah. So I did Pocahontas. There she is. I did Anna from Frozen. I did Tinkerbell, which she's sideways, I know, but. And then I also did Princess Jasmine right here. She's probably my favorite one because of the colors. I also have Belle, Snow White. I actually think Snow White is the one that I didn't do. Yeah, I don't think I did Snow White, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. The sheet doesn't look wrinkled enough for me to have done her. And then, I can't remember her name. Moana. I know I did her for sure. I don't think I did Cinderella, but I do have her, but I don't think I did her either. I did do Ariel, and I did do Rapunzel. You guys can tell by all my lines on there. And then I also did do Elsa. This is where I was keeping track of how much yarn I've used for this project and all my other projects in here. So yeah, there you guys have it. I'm probably, whoa, there's a big shadow right there. I'm probably gonna stop for right now so that I can go get my girls in the shower, and then hopefully there's a few more clips after this showing you guys my progress of the blanket, and then I will show you the actual ending squares too. So okay, I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Okay guys, so this is what I have. The lighting's kind of like weird because I'm in my living room. It's cloudy outside and I have these like big curtains. I don't know, whatever. But this is what I have so far. This is how giant it is. So this is like a big ottoman that we have. Let's see if I can come out so you guys can see like how giant it is. This is like a giant ottoman. Like, we can lay on this. Like, that's how big it is. Like, when we're watching movies, we just push it up here, and my husband and I lay across like this, and it's completely big enough for us to lay. And my husband's over 6 feet tall, so that gives you an idea of how big this is. I ended up with 12 princesses for 12 princesses and the castle in the middle. So I have never been good at stitching the squares together, especially stitching them together where you have like a smooth seam. So I don't know. This is about as good as it's gonna get. It's really not bad. You can see like the Tinkerbell one doesn't look bad. These ones are pulled up, so they're a little more noticeable. And this is the first line that I did here. So I feel like this one's a little bit more noticeable as I was trying to get the tension right. And then they got better as they went this way. These blue ones go in the corners. I just have them move because I couldn't stitch the corner on when I was coming across. I went all the way around this square like this, and then when I came down this way, I came down to do this one, and then I stopped here. So I do need to cut this and then go to each individual one of these and do it that way. I couldn't figure out a good method of sewing that together this way. What I could have done was left longer tails, but I didn't know the layout of how I was going to do this when I was doing each square. I didn't even have like all the background colors set. I just kind of jumped into the project and started doing it. So for next time, if if I ever make another blanket like this, I'm gonna have to definitely plan it out better, back, all the way down to what color these are gonna be, what placement they're gonna be in, and then also like where I can leave the tail, because the tail either is here or on the top. And so with every other one, I feel like it would work. Like with this one, you could use the tail to come this way, leave the top here, tail will come down, something like that. But yeah, this is what it looks like. I don't think I'm going to update again with the progress. I will probably just insert some photos after this so you guys can see the end result. This is the very first blanket of this type that I have done. I've done corner to corner before, but like I mentioned already, and I think it's in this video, there should have been some pictures of that blanket. It was all one skein. So my girls already got marker on it. These eyes were, I don't know why I struggled so hard. Look at how screwed up this one is. I really struggled so hard with these eyes. I don't know why. I don't know. This one looks pretty good. These ones don't look bad, but you can tell I really screwed up some of them. I don't know why. It was just the way that they were laying down. So, um, I might come through here with a yarn needle and some more black and try to make it more square. But especially for Pocahontas, I feel like it might just be too much. And it almost looks, I think what it is because you have two squares facing different directions. So you can see here in the skin color, you have your loops going horizontally and then you have your loops going vertically. And that's essentially how it is for every column. You have vertical, horizontal. And so that's how it is with the eye. So they're vertical and horizontal, and it just doesn't work. I haven't really seen too many completed versions of this. So I think if I ever do another project like this, I think I'm going to do the eyes after or do some other type of square or rectangle and put that, like, sew the eyes on afterwards. So they're going to be a little bit raised, but I feel like if I want that uniform kind of feature, that's just how it's going to have to be. I don't even know if I showed you guys each princess that I ended up doing. If I didn't, I will include snapshots at the end of this as well of each individual square so you guys can see each one, because I don't remember if I showed you guys. I know I showed you the pattern, but I can't remember if I showed you guys these because I've been working on this video for weeks, you guys. So yeah, that's kind of how it is now. I don't know if I'm going to have time to do this today because my husband forgot his wallet and his job is 3 hours away. So I have a doctor's appointment for my wrist today. And after that, I have to meet him. I have to drive an hour and a half to go meet him and give him his wallet because it doesn't make sense for him to drive all the way home. So that's going to take up the rest of my day. And I don't know if I'm up for it when I get home. I'm going to try to put another hour into this, and hopefully that's all I need to get it done. So there we have it, you guys. This video is already edited. I just have to add these last clips in here of the finished piece, and hopefully I will get this up for you guys this week. Today is the 22nd, I think, or the 23rd or something like that. It's Tuesday, whatever day Tuesday is, the end of September. So yeah. All right, you guys. See you later.